There we go. We did it. I have a virgin live Instagrammer here. So for those of you joining us for the first time, you know me. I am, or maybe you don't know me if you're joining for the first time. If you've joined us in the past, most of you know me. I'm Melissa McLeod here at the Wool The Floss in Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. And I have my longtime friend, Darby Paddock, here with me. And how long have we known each other? Well, we were neighbors. We were neighbors growing up, probably since I moved to university. So, long story short, we were neighbors growing up. Like, kind of knew each other. We weren't super tight in high school until you started. When did you start working at Miners? Remember? Was that was that college or high school?
I think it was during college. Definitely during Christmas breaks. And
you know what? It was before, because I remember. I shouldn't even say this live. You're going to kill me. I remember you being distressed because your mom was very old-fashioned. Yeah. And you were talking about what major. No, so maybe it was the summer after freshman year, because you were trying to decide what your major was going to be. And I think your mom said something along the lines of, well, it doesn't really matter, because you're probably just going to get married and have babies and not work anyway.
That's so true. Isn't that funny?
And
she didn't want to waste her money on my college education.
I was horrified, because that was like so not who I was. And it wasn't who you were either. No. But you were like, oh, my mom's so sweet. And your mom was so sweet. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. But to spoiler alert, she did finish her degree, and she worked as a teacher and a librarian for
23 years? Yeah.
23 years? Okay. So take that, Mom. So, in any event, so we've known each other a long time. We worked retail together. I talk a lot about my first retail job being on Fisher Road next to our old building. There were always a couple high school girls, and I think it was the summer after, because we also had Jacobson's here. We were talking about that yesterday.
It's so hard to think back that far. But yeah, that was funny. There was a beauty salon in the middle. Remember the smell from the permanents coming through?
Yeah. And I joked with Darby. I said, now we're next door to the Chicken Shack, which thankfully it doesn't smell like chicken in here. Yeah. But if you're outside, like in the parking lot around 6 o'clock, and it's a warm night, you can smell the chicken out there. So. In any event, so all that to say, we've known each other a long time. I was in Darby's wedding. You did a reading in my wedding, I think. I'm trying to remember.
You know, my brother got married the same weekend in Kansas.
Okay, so even more weird. I dated her brother.
Yeah, my older brother.
I dated her brother, and I don't even know if I've ever admitted this to you. I probably haven't. I doubt your brother's watching, so I'm going to admit this live. I had a date with him the night after I met Andrew, who's now my husband.
Oh, you're kidding.
And I kind of made up a little white lie that I couldn't go out with John, because I was like
I'm meeting my future husband
over Andrew. And my mom to this day gives me grief about it. She's like, that was the worst thing you've ever done. I'm like, it was kind of crappy. I'm not gonna lie. But her brother and I both got married on the same day. Just not to each other. Exactly. So anyway. All those old stories. Sorry, guys. We're walking down memory lane here. So we have known each other a long time, but then we kind of lost touch. You moved out to Metamora for a while, and then moved back to Grosse Pointe. And then Darby texts me about a year ago and says, I've got this great idea for Needlepoint. I'd love to talk to you about it. And I said, great, but who is this? And you're like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't in your phone anymore, because it had been a while. So, in they walked. You guys know that I love to play games. I talk about playing games a lot. And I'm currently in my Mahjong era, but this is not about Mahjong. This is about backgammon. And you guys, if any of you have ever had any interest in making a backgammon board, this is going to 120% tip you over the edge. I have finally stitched a backgammon board, finished it in leather. It's gorgeous. It's an Ann Fisher design. Ann Fisher is an amazing designer.
That's a really pretty canvas.
She's so good. But my finish of it, I decided to try to do it in leather, and then I decided it was really, really beautiful. That was after I got up off the floor, after I had the heart attack of what my wholesale cost was on it. And I thought, I can't sell this to anybody. And now it's not even that practical. I was just telling Darby that my husband and I were at the cottage the other weekend, and he put his computer down on my backgammon board, and I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, okay, do not get divorced over this. This is not worth arguing about, but I was like, don't put stuff on my needlepoint. But you've solved all that. So,
I hope.
yeah. So you have stitched, right?
I have. I'm retired now, so now I can needlepoint. And I was knitting for a while, but the needlepointing has just been fun.
Good, good. And you play backgammon, I'm assuming?
We play a lot of backgammon in our house. Yeah. When I married Tony, his
was
family
a
is
requirement.
a huge backgammon player. So, yeah, we do a lot. At nighttime, we'll watch a little bit TV in the background, but we're usually playing backgammon. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And I was telling you that when I was growing up, my parents belonged to this like little tiny, I don't even want to call it a country club. It was like the most low end club you could have in this area. And we spent a lot of time over there. And there was a gentleman there named, I'm still trying to remember his first name. I think it was Ed Peabody. And he had been, he'd spent time in the service of some sort. Keep in mind, I was in 3rd grade, so these are all, like I said yesterday, his name was Mr., his first name was Mr., and his last name was Peabody, because I don't know. But he was in a wheelchair. He had an amputated leg, and you know, as a 3rd grader, I was like, wow, look at all these things this man can do. Like, I thought he was amazing. And so he hosted a backgammon night at the Hunt Club all the time. And so my family was always over there. We'd go and have dinner, and then we'd all play, like my parents and my sister and I all played backgammon, and it was really fun. So I played backgammon since I was in 3rd grade. Andrew doesn't want to play with me a whole lot because, I mean, if you play, like, it's not that hard of a game. Like,
No.
some of it's luck.
Yeah,
and
there's some
of it's-
strategy, though.
Some of it's knowing, like, if you roll a 6 and a 4, there's a standard move.
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
all this
yeah.
is- But he doesn't
I had
know
to learn
those
it.
because he hasn't played like that.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like playing with me because it's one of the few things that we do that I'm better at than he is, because he beats me at golf. He beats me at tennis. Like, anything athletic, you know, I'm left in the dust. But in any event, we love backgammon. So let's talk about this board. So I want to show you guys, and we'll ask Darby lots of questions while we're doing this. So there are, the biggest part of this board is it is self-finishing. So historically, we have sold a backgammon canvas that people have stitched, that it's created into like a big giant flat ornament, for lack of a better word. And then, so there's an expense for that finishing. And then the board was custom made to the size of whatever the board was.
canvas, yeah.
So we're gonna get into, and I find this fascinating because I'm a numbers girl, I'm a math girl. So we're gonna get into why this board is this size, which was just like mind blowing to me. But, so you have created a way for people to do it completely custom to their own, right?
Right.
And it is self-finishing, so we'll talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about some gorgeous, gorgeous, hot off the presses, hot off the painting tables, canvases by Tina Griffin, because I hooked you up with Tina.
She's been great.
So I think we're going to see a lot more designs for this board, but let's talk about the board. Okay, so first of all, this is kind of the most simplistic way to stitch this, I would say, of our
absolutely,
choices.
yeah.
So I'm going to hold this up so people can see this. So this is like the general idea, and see how I'm holding this very tightly right here, because first of all, this top piece, look at this, you guys. I mean, this is the thickest acrylic I think I have ever seen. Our regular acrylic that is made usually by our custom guy is that thick, and do you see how much wider these sides are? I don't even, can you see
Like
that on
3
screen?
times probably.
Yeah, it's
At least for the sides.
yeah, so the quality of this is amazing. And you told me this is all made
It's all
from one
one,
solid
right.
piece. So a lot of times with acrylics, you'll have joins, and the joins, like the light doesn't go through. So this makes it really like sophisticated and elegant and just super high quality. And on top of that, like, I'm not gonna drop this, but because it's so thick, it's not gonna break like a lot of acrylic will.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the separate top piece. So if you play backgammon, these are to hold your chips. This holds your dice and your doubling cube when you're not playing, right? So, and then this is the center bar, like when you knock somebody out of.
That becomes important.
Yeah. So, see, I play a lot, but I don't know the proper terms. Is this like your home base or something like
here's
that?
home, and
So one place is home, and so when you knock somebody out, they have to sit out until they can get back in, and those of you that play know. And then the bottom piece is also thicker, I think, than what ours normally is. Oh, it's about the same, actually, I would say. But this just houses your board itself, as well as, what would you call this piece underneath?
So underneath is the felt hardback, and that's the most important part because that's what makes it a great plain board. It helps, you know, when you're rolling the dice, and it also, when you put your canvas down, it keeps it from slipping.
And what also is included that we'll show you in a second is a polycarbonate. Did I say that word right?
I think so, yeah.
Basically a very thin acrylic-ish piece that protects your playing field. So the board itself is, when you purchase the board, and we're going to get into all the other parts, is the tray, what'd you call this piece?
It's the felt hardback. It's the
Felt hardback. So that comes with, and then this top piece comes with. And the polycarbonate piece, which isn't in this, but we'll show you in a second, because we've got another example. We've got a lot of examples to show you. So that is sold as a set, $478. Is that right, Emily? Yeah,
Yes.
$478.
Yes.
I should have said Emily's here helping moderate. You got to scooch back into the
off the film.
yeah. We need
Imagine
to
that.
see you. We
We're
need
trying to
design
escape
see
the
it.
camera.
There's also, everything's on our website already, and we're going to talk through a lot of the options.
We've had quite a few people say, I hope my backgammon board that I'm stitching will fit in there.
So this is the problem. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
One of the variants on this bag is going to say Darby House Designs right around where this magnet is. But this storage bag is an option with it if you want to take your backgammon on the go. So that's also on the website. So I want to show you that. So let's talk about the size. 16 by 21 and a half, I think. I didn't write that down on this piece of paper. It's on the website.
Okay.
So I think it's 16 by 21 and a half. And I think this is a hair smaller than a lot of the ones that are currently created.
Right.
And
There's a couple that would fit, but yeah, there's,
okay.
yeah.
So let's talk about why this is the size it is. So this is like, I don't want to say it's girl math, because girl math is like kind of means that you're bending the rules. This is like engineering
True
math.
Yeah, this is my husband's brains math.
Yeah, so Tony and Darby have worked on this a little bit together, and I said, well, why did you end up making it this size when all these other backgammon boards already exist that are bigger? And he's like, well, it's all about the playing pieces. So here are the playing pieces in backgammon, which of course are available for purchase, and we'll get into that whole situation in a minute. But I believe he told me that this piece, I should have taken this out. Let's pull this back up. I'm gonna pull this out. This piece, the playing piece, determines the size of the points on the backgammon board. And the points, the number of points, which is obviously always the same because it's a game, right? That all backs into the overall size of what.
Right. How they play, how they're spaced out on the board.
Which is amazing. So, and I think, if I recall correctly, he indicated that you all picked these pieces because they were getting the most bang for your buck, so to speak, like high quality.
Right, they're good weight, they're heavy weight, which is important.
And they're not totally breaking the bank, but they're also very nice quality.
Right.
So like that perfect sweet spot that we're all looking for. Like we want nice things and we don't want to pay over the top for them. So, and we'll talk about this in a minute. There's just so many things to talk about. It's super exciting. Okay, let me move a couple things that I should have done this, set this up separately, but I wanted to keep things kind of lined up there. Thanks, that goes with these. Yes. Okay, so it's self-finishing, which keeps your cost down.
Right.
So the board itself is $478. If you were to finish it as a flat with our old, I shouldn't say old, because we'll still have people who use that finishing. It's not a bad finishing. It's just not this nice. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like the way the slats are set up and things on the custom-made ones we've done are just not this nice. End of story. So in order to make something this size, So the flat and the old board would have been $550. So this priced at $478 is dramatically less than that. It is self-finishing for most people. If you wanted to create your own canvas, they have done, basically it's like, I would call it a line drawn canvas. So this is going to be a lower end price than obviously hand painted canvases. We all know that a large, this is 16 by 21 is the overall design size. So that in a painted canvas gets really expensive. The line drawn canvas is priced separately because some people might not want to make their own design, right? And that's how you got Tina involved.
Yeah, for sure.
And they'll be, you have reached out to other designers and more designs will be coming, I think,
They'll be
right? But it was a big ask. I mean, this is a large thing to create, and I think when you were starting to connect with them, they were all like just getting things ready for market, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's plate was like kind of full. But so there's more in the works. But for right now, the line drawn canvas, did I write down that price? I hope I did.
It's $138.
Thank you. I just found it on my list. So this is $138, and you can do whatever you want with it. I meant to bring, a whiteboard to put behind it. Here, we'll put this behind it.
And I think it's nice it's 13 mesh too. So.
Absolutely.
So
And you're doing such a large canvas.
Yes, it can go very quickly. You could do lots of different stitches if you wanted. Emily and I and Liz all picked out some colors, some that kind of go with the playing pieces, some that we just liked. So for instance, one of my picks, imagine that, was green and blue and white. So I would do something very straightforward like this, your background just in white and with a green and turquoise to make it pop, and maybe do, what do you think, black and white
I love black and white.
on here?
That it's sharp with this blue, I think.
So the black and white pieces on top would be really cute. So basically, with the line drawn canvas, you can do anything you want. So then if you were maybe stitching for a man, you guys will be surprised I picked this because I usually don't pick muted fallish colors.
So pretty.
But we thought those were really pretty, and these would be your pieces. The pieces and the accessories are separate. So the one thing that you're not gonna purchase through the Wool and the Floss, did I say this was exclusive to us through Market? Because I don't know if I did.
No, I didn't hear that.
But it is, yeah, so thank you. So thank you for that. But because they wanted to keep the pricing down and there's so many different choices, you will order your playing pieces directly through Darby's website, which is darbyhousedesign.com, is that right? And Emily can type that into the comments, and I believe that's typed into the description on our website too. So you'd order your pieces because you pick 2 different colors, and you'll see a lot of different colors that we're showing us. So I think there's a total of 5 choices, and you pick 2 out of 5.
Right.
Obviously. And then your cups come with, and then there are choices. Yes, there are.
So those are the doubling cubes.
But you just get one, right?
Right. One comes with it, and then there's other colors.
So you pick. So do they pick a color of these?
They pick a color.
Okay. So there's different choices on that. So again, that's kind of why this is all on Darby's website. And are the dice all black and white?
Black and white, yes. Okay. And then they can also buy, they're called precision dice if you're really into backgammon.
Oh.
They're just a certain weight. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots for me to learn. So the whole accessories package is through Darby's website just because there's all these choices and it gets a little like confusing if you're not a backgammon expert, but it's easy to pick for one. It's just for me to stock all of it. It was going to be
a lot of parts.
So, and then Liz picked out a couple things. I'm trying to remember.
It was like lily.
Yeah, she kind of picked lily colors.
Pretty.
And then the black and white pieces. And then, I don't know, were you picking this one, Emily? I can't remember. Or did Liz do 2?
Liz did all of them.
Okay, Emily helped pick some threads for the painted canvases we're going to show you. So that is, sorry, I'm not showing that very well. So bottom line is you can pick any colors you want. You know, choice is yours. So I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of what you can do to create this. So you would stitch your line drawn canvas up. You could do simple colorways. Rebecca, who's our marketing gal, thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to maybe add your initials down the middle of it? So, and I'll show you guys that too. So you could use, if you've done a Taylor Studios chart, you could add just your initials down the center. Would be really pretty. Sorry that my there we go. So you could do that, and then with a backgammon board, they work both ways. So you might do it this side on one, and then upside down on the other, right?
Yeah,
because you're sitting on opposite sides of the table. So you could utilize your Taylor Studios chart. If you have the Chrissy Johnsons, make it your own.
Make it yours.
Make it yours. Thank you. I'm like, I was so close with that. Book 1 or book 2, you could use some of those fonts to make it work. And then we'll show you another idea that your husband came up with, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about how you're self-finishing it. So
Okay,
walk us through
so
that.
there's a couple ways you can do it, and the easiest, most basic way is just to do a binding stitch along the edge.
Like
and
you would do
then-
on a belt, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this one is just pretty rudimentary. It's like,
But it's
so
so
there's just
simple.
fabric
I
on the
love it.
back, and this is just sewing machine. So you can hand sew it, but this
It's
is just
beautiful.
It's not even a straight line, but anyway, it's good enough because once you put it down,
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
that
you don't
gorgeous
even.
thick acrylic
just-
covers it all.
yeah.
So
you just
Darby
place
was
it on
saying
top.
Her mom was a really good sewer, and
She's a quilter.
and so you learned some basic sewing skills
Very
from
basic,
her.
yeah.
And we're able to pull this off, but that's why, like, it's not perfect, but once you put that acrylic over it,
Yeah.
do we have it fit in yet?
Yeah.
This is popping out of there. There we go.
Okay.
Once,
Sorry.
Once,
There we go.
once it's in, it doesn't slide around because of the felt. There's the felt hardback on the back.
and that acrylic is so thick, you can't see, like, those machine edges at all.
Right. But then the other thing you could do is do the cording, which would be even prettier because you could see it from the side.
Oh,
Where
nice.
if I know some people are very handy and they can do their own cording, but they could probably just take it to you and you could have someone do that.
Our finishers
Which would be
can
pretty
do
with
that
the
too.
multicolors that they can see on the edges.
So we are saying it's self-finishing, but I know many of you out there are like, hot dog, I'm all about this. And some of you are like, I'm not doing that. We can still do the finishing for you. But the whole point of this was to make it so that you can stitch this up and then you can start playing right away and not
You have to wait
6
forever
months.
to get it.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter's doing she's doing a stocking for her baby. And it's so cool. But she's like, I think I'm not going to get it till next Christmas. Because
She is correct.
Yeah.
She is correct. So the line drawing, again, you can do lots of color combinations with it. If everything is on our website, so you can indicate in your notes on the website if you want us to pick colors for you, let us know. If you want to, get your hands around it and play in your stash and find 3 colors and have us pull enough quantity for you and or order enough quantity of the background. I should have done some math. I didn't do it before we started. But the background's probably going to take 6-ish, I would guess, to do the background. So that's something we might have to order to make sure you had all the same dye lot. But lots of options. But here is the one that your husband came up with, which I was really impressed by. So
He's a big fly fisherman. So these are trout.
let's see. I'm pulling the parts out of here. Although I'm going to hold this in there because it gives you an idea of how beautiful this whole thing is.
Oh yeah, it's upside down that way.
Oh, see, he didn't flip his fish.
He didn't do that. I know.
Ah, Tony.
I think it would have looked better to have one direction, but he's more of an
Exactly.
engineer than an artist.
So, but he did create the charts for these fish. And again, in hindsight, we're saying like do one upside down and one right side up because people said it's different sides of the table. So they were able to add something down the center. So I was really impressed. I said, "Oh, Darby, you did that?" And you're like, "No, Tony's artistic." And I'm like, "Wow," because I think of him like he and my husband play a lot of paddles together. So I think of him as like super athletic, and doesn't mean you can't be artistic, but
It's more math. There was more math involved than artist.
well, I think it's fantastic. I think it's
Mathematical.
fantastic. So, but we were discussing the fact. Hold on, I'm going to move this again. We got a lot of moving parts around here. That I could have my custom. I can count the number of threads across and high. And if you had an idea, like you're like, oh, I'd love like a dachshund on each side. That is something where my custom designer could do a chart for them, which would not be super expensive. We could also, if you really wanted to, send this off to have it painted, if you wanted something. But keep in mind, you're going to have something kind of long and thin.
Yeah.
Right. So
or you mentioned words, like you do your gammon. Like
Oh.
if you're gammon, that means that you didn't get your guys in
Right.
time. So there's, you know, they could put like little logos.
Yeah, some like cutesy backgammon terms. If you're somewhere that like up where our lake house is, the people have cottage numbers, which honestly I think is a little weird, but you know, I inherited the whole cottage number thing. So in mine, I might be able to fit cottage 29 on it, or Point of Barks. Probably not, that's a little long, but maybe PAB would fit, you know. So there's things that you could play with to customize it for yours. And a lot of things you could probably do on your own, but like I said, if you wanted to do something as crazy as those trout, which I think are fantastic, that might take, for me, it would take someone outside involved. The fact that Tony figured it out, I was like, wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. So, okay, so that's kind of the basics for the line drawing. Then, let's bring
This is
in
the good
Tina's
part.
design.
This is the good part.
Tina's designs are fantastic.
Tina.
So
She has such a style.
yeah, so you all know Tina. I think you've probably seen her on lives with me before. She lives literally, I can see her house out my window when I'm in my closet. I have a window in my closet,
Yeah.
so I can. So she's had a very difficult year, needless to say, and she's rising to the top though, and working through it all. And the fact that she got this together in this year of her life is amazing to me. So we have one done, two completely done that are ready to ship in the next week or so. And then she was so excited last night when I mentioned to her that we were doing this today. I think she just started that like yesterday. The one that's in progress.
I know she just finished it, so
Yeah. So
she's been working.
a couple of these are kind of variations on what she has already designs that were in her line that she took and worked them into these designs, and they're fantastic. And I'm moving these because Liz worked diligently. I gotta keep them in order. Diligently to that one's got to go up there.
Yep.
To get all this threaded up for us, which was amazing. So. The first one you're going to see is the martini board. So of
I love
course
that one.
Liz had to do this. I mean, how fun is this? So I think Tina has a clock that says something like it's martini o'clock on it, and I think she has a martini picture frame. So she's taken those icons and worked it into this gorgeous board.
I think we use those as promos for today's.
Ah,
I think Rebecca did. So
I love her
Amazing.
borders that she did too with the olives.
the
and those really
olives
show
are
up
so
under the
cute.
acrylic where the border goes around. They look so pretty.
So cute. So this is her master, and the painted ones I think are doing next week. Didn't she?
Yeah,
tell us
next
that?
Tuesday they'll be in.
Yeah. So these we're ready to roll out the door. There's a lot of detail on these. So the martini, and we're going to show you another one that's any of Tina's painted ones are 468, which is not surprising for this large of a design and as much detail is on here. So Liz pulled some threads. So let's talk about the threads she pulled. Here is your background, and then your points and your edges, and the green and white, of course, for the other point. And then the olives, of course, there's a little bit, oh, sorry, I forgot. The white goes
yeah,
with
for
the
the
green.
stripes.
Sorry,
Yep.
did that wrong. Got a lot of stuff around here. And then for the olives, so pretty. So pretty. So, though that was kind of the details. And then we were talking about all these drinks, and we were trying to figure out what was what. I'm going to turn this over this way. So we couldn't quite figure out what kind of martini this top one is. Then we think this is maybe a lemon drop, and that's a dirty martini, and a Cosmo, and my new favorite. There's a place in Vero Beach. You guys go to Vero too, don't you?
No, we're at Delray.
Oh, I thought you went to Vero Beach sometimes.
I've popped over there.
Okay, there's a place called the Scampi Grill, and they serve a blood orange martini.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Well, I don't even like oranges, so I was like, why do I want this? But the bartender was like, I promise you, this is what you want. You can only have one. You can only have one. But it is delicious. So in my eyes, that's the blood orange martini. So Liz created color families for each of these. So there is our blood orange martini. Should be that guy on the bottom. All those different textures. And we can do these different textures because what I didn't show them, Darby.
The top.
Oh, musical chairs here. Sorry, everybody. Oops. Good thing I already almost tried to break something. I'm just trying to get out this little tray. Oh. Tilt, 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 tilt.
There you go.
Okay. So with all these boards is this polycarbonate tray, which will protect your stitching. So if your husband puts his computer on top, you won't want to kill him. And it also, because these kind of will have a little bit of texture to it, your board will still play smoothly because this is designed to keep on top all the time, right?
Right, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, some people
your choice.
were
Some
saying
people
that they like that they could play directly on the needlepoint.
Right.
So.
And I think if it's user's choice. If you have a husband who's a dodo, here you go. So sorry, Andrew, I know you're not watching me, so I can get away with it. He does a lot of really great things. That was like
Not so great.
It's like one of the days he took one of my needlepoint scissors and started to open an Amazon package. I was like, ooh, stop. So then there's our Cosmo. How cute is that? I mean, this design is so good.
I love the colors. I love the black and green.
There's the Dirty Martini. And
No, that's it looks like a Dirty Shirley or something maybe.
oh,
I don't know.
See, it's in different order. You're right. Sorry. Each point, I'm looking at the back and I thought it would be in the same order, but it's not. So you're right. And then the lemon drop. Thank you, Emily. Emily's living dangerously and reaching through the thing for me, which is really nice. There is our lemon drop, and last but not least,
Liz said this is a Dirty Martini. The threads she chose,
yeah,
I believe.
it also,
I don't know.
I don't
It
know.
could be
It could
whatever.
be a margarita in a martini
Yes.
glass. That's what happened at my house because I wouldn't have the right glasses for the right drink because I'm not that fancy. But they were really pretty. Liz did a fantastic job. So this piece is gorgeous, and having all those different threads would make it really interesting to stitch. And you could do maybe something in the background like maybe diagonal mosaic for the background stitch or a Nobuko. The points you're probably going to do mainly 10th stitch, I would think. Anything else is going to get too complicated. So that was that. Then let's show the one that is Tina's
great.
work in progress.
This is like, she has a belt like this. Which is
She does.
really
So
cool.
that belt was designed because her son, I think, requested a fishing belt. So you can see this is like literally off of Tina's painting board.
Yeah.
Just at the back, it's only half done. But she is on her way to creating this fishing board, which is fantastic. And we pulled just some Planet Earth wool. And so you use a little imagination. So this one is definitely would be available. It's probably going to be 3 months, I would guess. And I'm guessing. Don't hold me to that because Tina didn't give us a timeline, did she?
No, nothing.
No.
No.
Yeah. So that
She
one.
did say she could get it done pretty quickly though.
Yes. So that one is a work in progress. But I think the crowning glory of Tina's is this piece.
Grand finale.
So beautiful. I mean, if you have never played backgammon, you're going to see this board and you're going to decide you need to learn backgammon, which is obviously is a very easy game to learn. Like you can teach someone like the basic,
Just the basics,
rudimentary
right?
in
You
like
count
20
it out.
minutes,
Absolutely.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean it as you play through the years, it can get like more strategic, like you were saying earlier. But you can teach someone. It's kind of like Rummy Cube. Like you can teach someone how to play it right out of the box. But here we go. So beautiful. You guys ready? Look at this. I mean, when you brought in her sample, my first response was like, well, that's really pretty, Darby, but there's no way Tina can, because it it was a paper version you showed me
Right,
the first
yeah,
time.
we were talking about the 13 mesh and how important that is for a backgammon board sometimes.
Yeah,
And
I'm like, that's so pretty, but
Yeah.
it's got to be on 18 mesh. Nobody's stitching 18 mesh. No, people, this is on 13 mesh.
Isn't that gorgeous?
It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. The colors are perfect. The colors were also a little tricky for us to pull colors for. So Emily started out, and then it kind of took two of us to
I think
get
we
the right
pulled
blues.
every single light blue in the shop, but
Yeah.
we found the right one.
It was
yeah,
like
the background's
trickier.
gonna be awesome.
So the first thing that Emily and I both said is those little bows on the topiaries had to be velvet. And we intentionally picked petite very velvet because it will not get too lumpy. It's a little lighter. We're not color changing, so the petite will work beautifully. This canvas is available next week, so we can get this right off to you if this appeals to you. Then here are the blues, which, like Emily said, was really, really hard for us to find, but so pretty. And then we're gonna add in the pinks on the topiaries because we don't want velvet berries. Oops, I didn't pull
That's a
pink.
great green.
It's
really
a great
pretty.
green, but there we go. There's the pink I was talking about. There is the pink. And then it seems like there's a lot of greens in here, and Emily and I looked at it over and over and over again, and we finally realized really there's just 3 greens. So we'll have to figure out quantities. We didn't pull for quantities.
So
But-
we did have a question about measurements. So this is 16 by 21.
Yes.
And will other boards fit? We don't know. You'd have to literally,
You have to check your
You'd have to check.
So the measurements are on our website for what Tina's boards are. Go by those measurements. If you can adjust yours to fit, but keep in mind it's not a simple.
And it's the center board you have to worry about too.
Correct. So let me show you the greens really fast, and then we'll talk a little bit about the measurements. So there
Yeah.
are the greens. So beautiful. So if you have a board, I can tell you the Ann Fisher ones are too big. I think the Thorne Alexander ones are too big. I mean, I'm saying that backwards. They're beautiful boards. They are too big to fit into this self-finishing acrylic set, right? And I think you said you found a couple.
There
that
might be a
would
couple
fit.
that fit, and then you might just have to do a little bit more along the edges.
So the trick with it is, and let's see if
But
I
the
can-
trick is lining up the center.
Yep, I'm trying to pull this board out. So it's not just it being 16 by 21. Sorry, I don't know why my nose is itchy. It's probably because
Kristen Kingston is being helpful. She said Kate Dickerson's are also a little bit too big.
well, I think it's really funny that Christine is on here because
She says she's already dreaming of ideas.
I have it written down to tell Darby to reach out to you, Christine. Christine is a fantastic designer. This is totally her jam, and I was gonna connect you at the end of this video, Christine. So there we go. So you have to have it so that the acrylic lines up with the design. So it's not just making sure it's 16 by 21 fits, it's making sure that the center piece is the right size and these side pieces are the right size.
Right.
Is that accurate? I think this, and even the points where they start. So if there are designers like Christine that are interested in creating some
You already have
designs.
an email from Christine.
Oh,
okay,
Christine,
great.
good. That's so funny. Because this morning I woke up at like 6 a.m. I was like kind of rolling through this in my head, and I'm like, I really need to connect Darby and Christine. So I'm so glad. So you have like kind of a master design template for other
Right.
designers that are interested.
Exactly.
Perfect. Yeah, Christine's your gal for sure. Tina has knocked it out of the park though. I don't want to
And
take away from her.
Tina's also on and says thank you for your kind words
Oh my God.
and love the beautiful threads.
I mean, so I stitched that other ridiculously expensive leather finish for my cottage. I don't have a needlepoint one for home, so I might have to stitch this. This would look so good in my living room. So good. So
My
good.
daughter's gonna do it for her porch. She's like trying to figure out if her nap times for her baby are gonna be long enough coming up. She's like, oh.
Oh, so
This is gonna
beautiful.
be
So
so
Tina,
pretty.
you knocked it out of the park. Everything about this is fantastic. So I feel like we've drowned people with information. Many more designs to come, probably from Tina, probably from Christine Kingston, a couple other people I know that you connected with. I'm not going to throw their names out there because maybe I don't want to put them under that pressure. But I just think the whole design's fantastic. So
great.
You guys
Thank you,
knocked it
Tina.
out of the park. So, and you have been working on this. This is kind of your baby. I think we've been talking about this for at least a year, right?
Yeah, we have.
So she's in her postpartum era. So yeah,
It's been fun to work on it with my husband too, because he's the one that he wrote the patent. It's patent pending, and then we did get a trademark, which I guess it's a pretty big deal.
It is a big
It is
deal.
a trademark. That did pass. So.
Good job.
So it's fun.
Good
Something
job.
we can do together.
Yeah, so check out our website. If there's any other questions that Emily wasn't able to answer, send us an email, give us a call. If I don't have the answers, I obviously will reach out to you. I'm just double checking my list. Oh, they are drop shipped. The shipping, as you can imagine, is a little bit more than our usual $7.95. So drop shipped is going to be $18.95, and that's for the board and the line drawn canvases that would be included. If you when you order your game pieces, that is $44, right?
For the kit, and that's going to be the cups and the
That's
dice
all your
and the
accessories,
doubling
and
cubes.
there's no shipping on that. But
Right,
shipping
there's no
is
shipping.
included, which is very generous. I'm just double checking. I talked about that. I think I did it all. Did we leave anything out?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you for allowing us to roll this out with you.
Thanks for
I feel
doing this. This is
like
great.
I was a little bit a part of all of this. You guys would come in like, this is what we're thinking, and make little tweaks based on
Yeah.
what I said. And I mean, you guys thought of everything, and yeah, it's fantastic. It's
Great.
fantastic. So thank you all for spending time with us. And if you have any questions, let us know. Everything is on the website. I think there's a hero image on the front page. Oh, I forgot about two really important things. Haha. I said I was going to talk about right at the beginning. I did mention last week our new retreat, our new lakeside 66-person fantastic spring retreat will be March 6th through the 8th. So please make sure to save the date. It will be lottery style again. The lottery will roll out the end of the month, probably around Halloween. So we are hoping many of you will spend time with us. I also rolled out this week, I'm looking for a piece of paper. Did I bury Fanny?
There was a little.
There we go. We buried Fanny on the table. This is Kelly Clark's latest class. This will be a Zoom class, and it will be February 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Sorry, I printed this backwards. So here's a close-up of the piece. This is also on the homepage of our website. So if you're someone that loves to take classes and learn a lot, Kelly Clark is the master. You will learn ribbon work, you'll learn bead work, you'll learn stump work. The things you will learn in 3 days will be absolutely mind-blowing. I've done Zoom classes with her before. She is amazing. This design, I mean, she is just so darling, so darling. So it's 18 mesh. I think it's like 6 by 12. It's tall and skinny, like most lovely flamingos. And so all that information is on our website as well. Lots of details built into that listing, so check that out. You sign up for that class separately on Kelly's website. We just provide the kit. We kind of have a general guess at the kit price right now. Kelly uses a lot of unusual threads, so I don't necessarily have a full thread kit price. I'm thinking the thread kit's gonna be around $250-ish. But then there's a stitch guide and bead embellishments, blah, blah, blah. So as much information as I have is on our product listing, so check that out. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow for unboxing at 9:30. Anything else we need to talk about, Em?
Any market previews that you've seen or market
thank you.
requests, we have a really great form on our website. You can submit multiple requests at once, and
Yes.
yeah, we're
So
excited.
yes, if you have market orders, if you see something you want us to pick up at market, whether it's something that you've been thinking about for a couple of years and is old, but you're still dreaming of it, many of our designers have their full lines with them at market, so we can pick up anything. We also will be seeing, of course, brand new off-the-press things, just like Tina's fantastic designs, which are also exclusive to us through Market. So thank you for that, Tina. And yeah, so check that out as well. And otherwise, we'll just see you tomorrow at 9:30. Bye, guys. Thank you.